Finding a genuinely fun sports car on a $5,000 budget might sound impossible in today's inflated market, but here's the truth that most car YouTubers won't tell you. The sweet spot for driving excitement has nothing to do with horsepower numbers or 0 to 60 times. Real driving fun comes from lightweight chassis, responsive steering, manual transmissions, and that intangible connection between driver and machine that modern cars have completely lost. And guess what? You can find all of that for $5,000 if you know where to look. We're not talking about clapped out project cars that need engine swaps or rusted out death traps held together with zip ties. We're talking about legitimate sports cars that you can buy today, drive home tomorrow, and immediately start enjoying without dumping another $10,000 into repairs. These are platforms with proven reliability, massive enthusiast communities, endless aftermarket support, and most importantly, that pure driving engagement that makes every trip to the grocery store feel like a backroad adventure. The cars on this list represent the absolute pinnacle of fun per dollar in today's used market. They're not the fastest, they're not the most powerful, and they definitely won't impress anyone at a stoplight, but put them on a twisty road or an empty parking lot, and you'll understand why driving enthusiasts have been obsessed with these platforms for decades. This isn't about straight line speed or Instagram flex potential. This is about heel to downshifts, perfectly weighted steering, and that addictive feeling when a car does exactly what you tell it to do. So if you've got $5,000 burning a hole in your pocket and you want maximum driving joy, these are the 3 most fun sports cars you can actually afford right now. Coming in at number 3, we have the Mazda Miata MX-5, and if you're rolling your eyes because this car shows up on every single list, that's because it deserves to be there every single time. This is not hype, this is not automotive journalist bias. The Miata is genuinely the most perfectly engineered driver's car ever made for the money. For $5,000, you're looking at first-generation NA models with the pop-up headlights that define 90s JDM aesthetic, and mechanically these cars are bulletproof. The 1.6 or 1.8-liter 4-cylinder engines aren't making impressive power numbers. We're talking about 115 to 130 horsepower depending on the year. But here's what matters: this car weighs 200 pounds. That power-to-weight ratio means you can actually use all the performance on public roads without risking your license. The magic of the Miata isn't in the spec sheet, though. It's in how everything works together. The steering is hydraulic direct and communicative in ways that modern electric power steering just cannot replicate. You feel everything through that wheel: road texture, weight transfer, grip levels. It's like the car is talking to you. The manual transmission is mechanical perfection with short throws and satisfying engagement that makes you want to shift even when you don't need to. The chassis balance is so well sorted that the car rotates naturally through corners, giving you this playful, confidence, inspiring feel that encourages you to push harder. The aftermarket support is absolutely insane. There are literally companies that exist solely to make Miata parts. You want better handling? Suspension options are endless. You want more power? Turbo kits and engine swaps are well documented. You want to go racing? Spec Miata is one of the most competitive classes in motorsports. And because Mazda made millions of these things, parts are cheap and plentiful. Finding a clean NA Miata for $5,000 is totally doable. You might need to accept higher mileage or some cosmetic imperfections, but mechanically these cars run forever with basic maintenance. The community is massive and supportive, which means you'll never be stuck without answers when something does go wrong. Yes, the jokes about hairdressers and lacking masculinity will never stop, but the second you drive one of these cars with intent, all that noise disappears. This is pure driving joy in its most distilled form. Top-down, manual transmission, perfectly balanced chassis, and that intoxicating feeling of being completely connected to the machine. At number 2, we're going with the BMW E36 3 Series, and specifically we're talking about the 325i or 328i models because those hit the $5,000 sweet spot while still delivering that legendary BMW driving dynamics. This is where you get proper rear-wheel drive sports sedan engineering from the era when BMW actually cared about making drivers' cars instead of luxury appliances. The inline-6 engines in these cars are silky smooth and make between 189 to 193 horsepower, which doesn't sound like much until you remember that horsepower isn't what makes a car fun. What makes the 36 special is the chassis tuning and suspension geometry that BMW perfected over decades. The steering feel is weighted and precise, the throttle response is immediate and linear, and the rear-wheel drive balance means you can genuinely adjust your line mid-corner with throttle inputs. This car teaches you how to drive properly: weight transfer, braking points, smooth inputs, because it rewards good technique and punishes sloppiness. The manual transmission in these cars is robust and satisfying, with that classic BMW feel that's both mechanical and refined at the same time. The aftermarket support is absolutely massive because the E36 platform is beloved by enthusiasts worldwide. You want to go drifting? People have been sliding E36 for 20 years with proven setups. You want more power? Forced induction kits and engine swaps are well documented. You want better handling? every suspension company makes E36 components. For $5,000, you're definitely looking at higher mileage examples, probably around 150,000 to 200,000 miles. And yes, these cars require more maintenance than a Honda or Toyota. The cooling systems need attention, the suspension bushings wear out, and you'll want to keep an eye on oil consumption. But here's the thing, none of this is complicated or expensive if you're willing to turn wrenches yourself. The E36 community has documented every single common issue and fix. Parts are available everywhere, and the mechanical simplicity means even novice mechanics can work on these cars. The interior quality is typical 90s BMW, meaning it's actually pretty nice with proper materials and thoughtful ergonomics. The seating position is perfect, visibility is great, and the overall driving environment feels purpose, built for enthusiasts. You're also getting a practical four-door sedan with a real trunk and back seats that adults can actually use, which means this can be your only car without major compromises. The E36 represents that perfect intersection of driving engagement, practicality, and affordability that modern BMWs have completely abandoned. Taking the top spot for the most fun sports car under $5,000, we're going with the Honda Civic Si, specifically the 7th generation models from 2002 to 2005. Now, before you start complaining about front-wheel drive or saying this isn't a real sports car, let me explain why this is actually the smartest choice on this entire list. The K20 engine under the hood is one of the greatest four-cylinder engines ever built, high-revving, naturally aspirated, and producing 160 horsepower at 6,000 RPM with a red line that stretches to 8,000. That VTEC crossover at 6,000 RPM is genuinely addictive, completely changing the engine's character and begging you to keep it pinned. The manual transmission is pure Honda engineering perfection with short throws, precise gates, and engagement quality that rivals cars costing 10 times as much. The chassis dynamics are what really make this car special, though. Honda engineered the EP3 Civic Si with a surprisingly sophisticated suspension setup that rotates naturally and gives you genuine feedback through the steering wheel. Yes, it's front-wheel drive, but Honda knows how to make FWD work. The limited slip differential helps put power down cleanly, the steering is quick and accurate, and the overall balance means you can carry serious speed through corners. The real genius of the Civic Si is that it's genuinely fun at any speed. You don't need to be breaking laws to enjoy this car. The high-revving engine encourages you to use all the gears, the handling is playful and engaging even at moderate speeds, and the lightweight chassis means everything feels immediate and responsive. And here's where this car absolutely destroys the competition: reliability and cost of ownership. This is a Honda, which means it will literally run forever with basic maintenance. The K20 engine is bulletproof, the transmission is stout, and the overall mechanical simplicity means repairs are cheap and easy. Insurance costs are a fraction of what you'd pay for a Miata or BMW. Parts are available at any Honda dealer for reasonable prices. Fuel economy is actually good, meaning you can daily drive this car without going broke at the gas pump. The aftermarket support is absolutely ridiculous. You can build a K20 to any power level you want with proven, reliable parts. You want more power. Bolt-ons, tuning, and forced induction options are endless. You want better handling. Every suspension company makes Civic parts. You want to go racing. The Civic Si is competitive in multiple amateur racing classes. For $5,000, you can find clean examples with reasonable mileage that haven't been completely destroyed by previous owners. The hatchback body style is practical too. You've got real cargo space, decent back seats, and the overall package works as a genuine daily driver. The interior isn't luxury car quality, but it's functional and well laid out with everything exactly where it should be. The real magic happens when you start driving, though. That high-revving K20 pulling hard to redline, the satisfying shifts through that perfect Honda gearbox, the responsive chassis doing exactly what you ask of it. This car makes you a better driver because it rewards smooth inputs and proper technique. It's engaging without being intimidating, quick without being dangerous, and fun without requiring constant mechanical attention. The 7th generation Civic Si represents the absolute best fun per dollar value in today's used market. You're getting legendary Honda reliability, proven performance, massive community support, and genuine driving engagement for less than the cost of a used Camry. This is the smart enthusiast choice, the car that lets you have maximum fun while still being able to afford rent and groceries. So there you have it, the 3 most fun sports cars you can buy for $5,000. The Mazda Miata delivers pure roadster joy with perfect chassis balance. The BMW E36 brings proper rear-wheel drive dynamics and that legendary ultimate driving machine feel. And the Honda Civic Si offers high-revving VTEC thrills with bulletproof reliability. Any of these 3 will deliver more driving enjoyment than cars costing 5 times as much.